Here we go. All right, well, welcome everybody to tonight's call. For those of you that I haven't met, I'm Stephen Moore. I'm a team elite with Nu Skin. I've been with the business now for a little bit over 15 years. It's been absolutely incredible, and the amazing people that are joining our team and our cause to really make a difference in healthcare and help shift it towards prevention and really have a great lifestyle with this business that really gives us a lot of flexibility to build it the way that we want to and build it as big as we want to. It's a lot of fun to see all the success that you guys are having. Again, some people have success faster than others. So if you're not having success this week or this month or in the last 90 days, that's okay. Some people, it takes a little bit longer depending on who you're going to meet. But what we know is that through consistent action, through consistent daily action of talking to people and inviting them to take a look at the business, using the tools to present the technology to them, and then using your upline to help follow up with three-way calls, we all know that if you consistently do that a few times a day, you're going to have success. So we see every single person in the business. The key to success is really consistency, having a little bit of grit, not worry about the naysayers. They're not going to enrich your life in any way. It's a sifting and sorting process to go find, good people that you want to work with. If someone's grumpy, and they kind of beat you up a little bit, well, the great thing about this business is you don't have to work with them, right? So we have our flying coming up. By the way, January was a record month for us. So it's really exciting and really great to see that, December is always a challenging month just because we have so many distractions in December. We're going to be working on some ideas and maybe some promotions that we can do for next December, so that we can really push through, the holidays and continue to grow in December. But it's the team recovered, and January was our best month. It was actually better than any one of the months last year. So that's great, and that actually is going to be a telltale sign that February is going to be better, March is going to be better, April is going to be better. The first quarter and beginning of second quarter are really great months to grow in our business, and by setting up momentum during the beginning of the year, that can actually carry you through some of the lulls of the summer when, kids are out of school and those types of things too. So it's all about building momentum, right? When you have momentum, you can push through any slowdowns in the business because you have people that are excited, you have people that are in qualification, you have people that are moving forward. And we do have our flying coming up this week. And our flying is going to be in Utah on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I know many of you are coming out there. That event is an event that we find that the people that go out there and bring people out there and consistently bring people out there, that directly also relates to growth too. So that's a big event that builds belief and gets people up to speed very quickly. And that's one of the things that I focused on in the beginning was while I was learning this business, I knew that, even though I couldn't teach people how to do it in the beginning, I knew that I could sell the events. I knew I could get people to the events. I could get people excited. And I let the events and the tools do a lot of the work for me in the beginning until I kind of developed my skill set. Because remember, guys, I was 27, freshly graduated from chiropractic college when I started this. So I could sell, but I couldn't lead and I couldn't teach people. So I know many of you guys already have a lot of those skill sets, and so we still encourage you to use the tools and the events. Andy, you just had an event with your team, and Dr. Andy Feltz, for those of you that don't know him, Andy is a optometrist. He founded one of the largest mobile healthcare companies in the United States. He then recently sold it to the largest mobile healthcare company, and now he's their clinical director. He's on I think a 2-year, 7-month, and 13.5-day something transition. He's counting by the day. But this is his exit. This is what he's going to be doing next. So he's blending this business into his activities because he needs to do something fun. And this is what he's doing. And we're excited for all the accomplishments that he's made in the business. So Andy's going to talk a little bit about how to chase the business. And then we're going to hear from Calvin, Dr. Dalton, who's also an optometrist, about how to have a successful event. And then we'll hear from Katie. Katie's going to talk about how you can expand internationally through social media. And we've got a really great person that joined our team that I think is going to do some great work down in Peru with us. And then we're going to have Erin talk about how to build excitement on social media. You really want to stay till the end of this call because she just got her scanner about a week ago. She hasn't recruited anybody yet. She's really just building enthusiasm. She's coming out to Utah this week. She already has over 200 people interested in the business that are just waiting for her to tell them more information. And she's done a great job with some of that, creating that curiosity in just a very, very short amount of time. I think within 48 hours, she had that many people interested in what she's doing. So Andy, we're going to start off with you, and then you can kind of pass the baton out to your team, and then we'll roll out the call.
Great. Thanks, Stephen. And appreciate you having me on, and for all your leadership in putting these calls together. It really helps keep us connected and learning best practices from each other. So I suppose that I'm going to talk a little bit about here as a prologue to Calvin coming on about how important it is to drive a line and to really chase business where you can find it. So when you get somebody started and you start to work their contact list, their warm market list, it's really important that you have some urgency and you find what we call the hot molecule, which is somebody in their group, or either directly or somebody that somebody they've sponsored has sponsored, who really wants to chase the business, who wants to work, who has a desire to act fast and go right away. And once you find that person, you want to work with them directly as if they're the most important person in your group. And that has a trickle up effect. And that has happened directly in what I'm doing right now with Dr. Calvin Dalton. So Calvin is 3 deep in an optometry leg. And since he's caught fire and I've been working with him, both of the folks ahead of him or above him have re-engaged and started to do better with their practices and reach out to colleagues. Because we lit a fire underneath them by chasing the most important person, who was Dr. Dalton. And that's what we call driving a line, or working with the hot molecule. And, finding those people is just a matter of sifting and sorting, as Stephen always says, is, find the people that want to, get on the phone with you, who are willing to make the contacts, who aren't afraid to fail. Because really at the end of the day, the more you fail, the more you'll learn. And it's the people that are cautious and won't go that will grow the slowest. So it's okay to mess up. I do it all the time. Just ask my wife. she will tell you. But we had an event in Atlanta last week, and it was really 2 events wrapped in one. I'm actually ready to move past Calvin now. He's got a guy, Alex, who might be on the call tonight, who set up a meeting for me with 4 potential distributors for lunch in Atlanta. So I went down and did a lunch meeting, and that was awesome. And then we broke into some karaoke, and that was hey, if you're getting have fun doing it, what's the point, right, Stephen? So
thanks for sharing that with us.
I don't think that's part of the training manual, but whatever it takes, right? So Alex brought in really high level people, so people that are already successful. So Alex deal was, he's a successful house builder and real estate developer. He's your Uncle Scrooge, I guess, in the Driving the Lines Disney character talk, and really just wanted to bring in high level people. So he brought in a successful realtor and some other folks who were successful in med spa development. And we had a great meeting, and we got 4 people that are up and running and ready to go. And then that parlayed into Calvin's meeting. He set up a dinner meeting with some local optometry doctors and people that are in the in the rep business for either device or pharmaceuticals within eye care. And that's where we're going to leave it up to Calvin now, who's a optometrist in Cleveland, Georgia, and has been in the business here really just for a couple months now. He made his first trip out to Utah in November, and happened to tear his Achilles tendon, and that has not slowed him down. Even with one leg, he's still kicking booty. So Calvin, are you on? Might be on mute. Unmute yourself. Yeah, there you are. Hey, man.
Okay.
So just tell us a little bit about yourself real quick, and then also kind of talk about the meeting, what you did to set it up as far as, contacting people, and then the results after we had it.
Yeah. So first thing is thanks for having me on. And second is I can be bribed for pictures. I recorded the karaoke and there are dance moves. But no, going back to the meeting, everybody's kind of got like their warm contact. And for me, there's, 15, 20 eye doctors in the area. We all kind of get together every couple months, every 4 months or so, and do a meeting. And so I just kind of decided, let's put a meeting together. So I asked Andy if he would come down, and he was gracious to spend his time, come down, and give a lecture to everybody. And we actually had a pretty good sign-up rate. So we placed some scanners, we got some interest-driven, and I'll just keep following up with those people. Sent an email out probably about 3 weeks before the meeting. Sent one out the Monday before the meeting, and it just, simple invitation with a picture of the scanner and, hey, we're having this guest speaker from Ohio come. And, even Alex was able to bring somebody. So it was kind of nice. We used it as a little mini fly-in.
Yeah, awesome. And we got 2 contracts that night and a third in the hopper, right?
That's right.
So that's awesome. And then a couple more that are coming from that. And also the people that are new, like Alex, got to hear me, kind of give a presentation for a second or third time. And it just kind of starts to sink in. The more I hear Dr. Moore present, the better I get at doing my own little talk. So, you get your own people plugged into meetings, even if there's no, prospects there for them. In this case, Alex did have somebody, so that was even better. But, they learn by hearing and being part of the event as well.
Right.
So, awesome. Well, we look forward to getting those scanners up and running, and that's going to push a couple of folks in your group hopefully to get to the next level as well.
Yeah, I agree. And thanks again for coming down.
No, my pleasure. All right, and thank you, Calvin. We're going to move on to the Queen of Kansas. Miss Katie Gilkey is in McPherson, Kansas? Hutchinson, Kansas. Sorry, you're in Hutchinson. And they all run together. The greater ruralplex of Wichita. And
oh boy.
Katie's got a background in dental hygiene, business coaching, but she's now doing this business full time. And she's got a couple kids to lasso around there in the Kansas world of high school. But want to bring her on and talk a little bit about what she's been doing to develop her business, especially with the international expansion. So you there, Katie?
I am, and I'm sorry if there's a lot of background noise. I'm in the middle of a basketball game, and out in the middle of nowhere, Kansas, we don't have, a lot of big places in this school to get away from it unless I go out in the freezing cold. So bear with me. But we have some really exciting stuff happening through one of my team members who was actually a naturopath using the scanner on my team. She introduced me to a gentleman in Peru, Marco Marquez, and I have had a wonderful time getting to know him. And as of this morning, I am welcoming him as one of our team members. He has got a great vision. He's got a degree in engineering, and then he's also a business consultant, working with the marketing team as well in Peru. Just got great big things happening for him, and I'm so excited to have him as part of our team. So we're going to build some really exciting stuff with social media. Like I said, he's got such a great vision for this, and really the sky's the limit. I mean, that's the beauty of this business, you guys. It's global. We are not stuck in one small territory. I am not stuck in a little tiny Kansas town. You have to have vision, you have to have drive, and if you've got those things, it's really just up to you how much limit you have. You have to put that on yourself. And so I chose not to have any limits. And I know in Marco, I have found a teammate who has the same kind of outlook on his business. So I don't know, Marco, are you there? I'd like to have you speak a little bit and introduce yourself to the group.
Excellent. Thank you, Katie, for the introduction. I mean, she really exaggerated, but it's okay. Thank you. Anyways, hi guys. I'm really happy to be part of this team. I live in Kansas, also in Kansas City. I'm Peruvian American, now back in Peru for the last 6 years. As Katie said, yes, I'm an engineer, but I don't think much as an engineer. So I mean, I've been most of my career in sales. I work in the U.S. and here in Peru in a couple of companies in the HVAC industry. I basically ran the business here in Peru, but I really was really bored about my job. I mean, I was making good money. I was on the top of my of my career per se, making good money, getting all the bonuses. But it was really at some point. I mean, you feel like money is not just the only thing that drives you. I mean, there were other things, and was doing what I really want to do. So and the first thing for me was like my time. You know, be able to manage my time. I mean, when you work for a company, and the last company I worked for, it was Samsung Electronics. Korean base. I mean, it was, you know, you have a schedule. I mean, you know, they were always policing you, and that really bothered me, micromanagement. So I, after being very successful and leaving all the KPIs, like, you know, in the best way possible, I decided to go out. And they say, why you go out? Why? Because I want to pursue my dreams. And to have time, I mean, it's very, very valuable to have time to enjoy with your kids, to have time to do what you really want. And I imagine as all of you, we have, you know, make a lot of money for other people. And I think now it's time to make money for ourselves. And we have the capacity. And now with this giant billboard, which is, you know, social media, is being like really easy to actually go to anywhere in the world. So, I mean, an opportunity like New Skin provide us that platform. So I'm really excited. I mean, we are here in pre-launch. So today I meet with my team, and we were like really hands-on, and I started creating our pre-launch campaign through social network and also through emailing and our personal, the warm list, like Andy said. Well, thank you for welcoming me, and I will be asking a lot of questions. I know you have a lot of more experience than me in this business, but you know, I can be a resource for you. I mean, feel free to contact me, and I can send my information to any of you. I would like to contribute, because I strongly believe that everything you give out, and it comes back. You know? So I mean, I'm here, part of the team, and I'm here. I mean, to help all of you. I mean, if you want to come with me.
Great, Marco. You're going to be a great addition to our team, and we can't wait to work with you. You know, we believe that you know, the rising tide raises all ships. So we want to help you, and we know that you'll be able to help other people as well. So we love your spirit, and that you're true. I mean, and what you said is true, is that what you give out, you'll get back in tenfold. So thank you very much, and we're excited to launch not only your business in Peru, but I think you're going to have a business in many other countries as well. Based on your ambitions and your skill set and just your general disposition. So can't wait to work with you some more.
Thank you, Andy.
Yeah, the world is definitely a small place now, and it started to become a small place when we could communicate on the internet. And I shared with some of you that I got recruited through an AOL instant message through a member directory search 15 years ago. I didn't know the person that recruited me. He was a complete stranger. I didn't even meet him face to face for 2 to 3 months. We were working a lot over the phone, but I never knew what he looked like. And, you know, sometime when I came to Florida to come work with him for the first time, have you ever like talked to someone on the phone and you don't know what they look like, and you have this image of what you think they look like, and then you see them and they don't look quite like that? Well, this person I built this relationship with for 2 to 3 months, then all of a sudden I meet him face to face. I'm like, I thought you had a mustache, Todd, for some reason. I don't know why, but he did. So you just never know who you're going to find. And, you know, Todd has earned well over $1 million because he sent me an instant message, you know, and he built a relationship with me, and he helped me get started. So him and his upline were willing to match energy with me. And so, you know, social media is a great way to connect with people. And then once you connect with them, then you build a relationship, and then you lead together and you serve people. And this business is really about helping other people. And one of the things that many of us love about this comp plan is, you know, you don't make money being selfish in this business. The only way you make big money by doing this is by helping other people. And so if you guys can learn to help your team get success, you're automatically going to get success. And so a couple things I learned very easy and very quickly in the beginning of the business was to care more about the results that your customers get on the products than the money you make. Number 2, care more about the success that your distributors have than the money you make from them. right? Because the more you can help them be successful, you're automatically going to be successful in the way this comp plan works. And so it allows us to really serve people and be selfless. And it's just a really great business. And Marco, for those of you that didn't catch it, Marco's actually lives in Lima, Peru. So last week, I think it was maybe a week ago, 10 days ago, I think it was last week on this call, I had announced that, hey, we've got some information about Peru launching and some of the events and so forth. And I shared with how our team, that really didn't know anyone from Colombia, we just said, hey, let's go network and let's see who our friends know from Colombia. And we met a couple people that went and made a commitment to building in Colombia. And they now control about 20 to 30% of that market. The whole country is under them. So when you can position in front of countries before they open and at the beginning of the launch, you can grab market share through leadership and through consistency and through not procrastinating and just working really, really hard. That person, those teams now have expanded into other markets in South America. And so when we gave the challenge, Katie had reached out to a friend, and I guess Katie, did your friend know Marco, or where was the?
Yes, he did.
Okay. So it's amazing. If you ask people, who do you know from Peru? We're going to be expanding our business there. You'd be surprised at how many Peruvians will show up in your life very quickly. So I was just talking to a friend who's down in Miami, and I said, hey, we're going to be opening up in Peru. She goes, I love Peru. I have tons of friends that are from there. I'm like, oh, okay, well, let's, she goes, I want to talk to you more about this. And we just got off the phone. So you just never know. The world is just a small place now. And when you can find good leaders take action right away. So Marco, when did you first connect with Katie? When was the first time you spoke to her about the business? You're on mute, by the way.
It was last week on, if I'm not mistaken, on Thursday. And then we didn't finish the conversation, so we get together the next day, and we also didn't finish the conversation until today. And right after the call, I already made a little bit of research about the company, and I understand that getting early in any process, is always good. You have an advantage. So because I've been investigating a lot into marketing campaign, which is something that I want to do to help my consulting customers to get liquidity into their companies and be able to contract my services, which are, bigger value, per se. So I start with the marketing campaigns, and today I actually put together my first one. With my team, I have a marketing team that we do other things. We launch events, and we do other things. But we have been starting the last month. I bought a couple of programs I'm working with people in LA, in California, which are, very, very good people on that marketing campaign stuff. So we learn it. And today we implemented our first campaign, and we're going to finish it up tomorrow morning, and then we launch it. And then, and we have a plan. We'll do a marketing campaign to kind of like advertise, when the launch is going to be, to collect basically distribution, which is personal information from people. We're going to do also, we're going to follow up with a couple follow-up emails with that. And 1 week before the launch, we're going to actually do another campaign, to make sure, they actually go, but it will be more like retargeting, because, we already have the information of them. And besides that, we want to use the social network to use promote on our warm network, everybody that works for us. And I have family in the U.S. I have 3 sisters and a brother and a bunch of friends in Kansas City. So Katie, I will be promoting also on your city.
Let's go. I'm ready. Let's go.
So I'm going to tell you. So actually, some of the network and how it started in Colombia, where it started here in the United States. Then it went to Colombia, then it went to Spain, then it went to some island. I forget the not Easter Island, some island off of Spain or Portugal. I forget the name of it. But
Baleares, Isla Baleares.
No.
Mallorca, Minorca. Yeah, okay.
No, I don't remember.
Ibiza?
Ibiza.
No. Andy, you're the party animal. You know about it. So,
they do karaoke there.
Yeah, they do. I forget what island it was, but then Canary Islands. That's where it was.
Well, those are yeah. Ibiza is one of the Canary Islands.
Okay.
Ibiza, Mallorca, and Minorca. Those are the biggest ones.
See, so anyway,
so
it
the
went to
party animal
Islands.
was right.
I did not know that. And then from the Canary Islands, it went back to Colombia. And then that leader, where it ping-ponged around the world, that when it went back to Colombia, we found a really great leader that became the Blue Diamond. Pretty amazing. So Marco is now in Peru, and he's already going to be sending people to Katie back in Kansas. Isn't it so interesting how that works?
Mexico and Chile.
Yep. Chile? Mexico, Chile.
Mexico.
Yeah, we can go anywhere like that. So wrapping up the call here, we have Erin Olszewski. She's a registered nurse. You guys heard from her a couple weeks ago when she first signed up. We had connected actually on Facebook, and I think within 24 hours she had ordered her scanner. She's just the type of person that when she believes in something, she just goes for it. Erin, welcome back to the call here. Share with us a little bit of your background. Now after Erin got excited, so sometimes when people pull the trigger really quickly and they're excited, well, then all of a sudden they have a lot of questions, right, Erin? So yeah. I literally received a text message saying, I want out of this company. I think within 3 days of her ordering the scanner. So we had to get on the phone and have a conversation again and just clarify some things that she didn't quite understand. So Erin, maybe talk a little bit about that journey and then talk about what you've been doing since we kind of ironed out some of those misconceptions there.
Sure. All right, so I'm a registered nurse. I have my bachelor's degree in science, and I also did 8 years in the Army Special Operations. Kind of went through that before. So I've always kind of been, I guess, I don't know, a go-getter. So I don't mind being the unconventional one. But Steve reached out to me. I loved what I saw. And yeah, I did sign up because I did believe in it. But then, you start looking into it like, I don't know. You're always kind of skeptical. And I'm just kind of a skeptical person. So I had questions and they were answered. And in the long run, it was kind of a learning experience because I'm sure I'm going to face that same adversity, selling to other people or like trying to explain to them. But I just rather take it slow for now. I've been building up my social media. I have a lot of followers, and I'm not exactly telling them what it is, but I'm telling them, that it's a natural approach to healthcare, and you don't have to be a healthcare professional to actually, do this. And most of my following is, outside of the mainstream belief system, and that's what I really appreciate about this product is that. It offers a more natural approach to your health without having to be put on all these pharmaceutical medications. So I kind of been leading up to it, getting the hype. I started a group on Facebook for anyone that's interested. And then I'm going to put out some just information, like science, the science behind it. I'm writing something right now on antioxidants and the benefits of them and what free radicals are. So I'm going to put all that science in that. And then when we go to the meeting this weekend, we're going to be doing a live and just kind of, showing them what it's all about. That's what's cool about social media is you guys were saying before, you can, I'm in Florida, but I'm reaching people all the way in South Africa right now. So, the possibilities are so endless, and social media is one of the greatest marketing tools that we have right now. They're not even paying as much for these Super Bowl commercials because they rather just advertise it on Facebook. So,
Erin, what was some of the skepticism that you had, and how did you overcome that?
All right, I'm going to be totally honest.
Yeah, that's what we want you to be.
I looked at the products, the vitamins, and I'm a natural health nurse. I would prefer to see them organic and non-GMO. That's what I was skeptical about because I told Steve, I hate to offer something to my following and most of them are all the same. Like they really lean towards the organic, non-GMO. I would hate to like ruin my name that way, and that's what I was worried about. And I guess
go ahead. And how did you overcome that along with the other things that you had? I haven't completely overcome that yet. I need to learn more. I'd like to see possibly in the future a product line that kind of follows that kind of standard, because then then you could really market this as a, natural approach, like a fully on natural approach. Because like just some of the ingredients in those supplements I'm not exactly a fan of. And then the new skin products, I don't use fluoride. I think it's a neurotoxin, so I wouldn't ever want to like market that to anybody, because I personally don't even use it myself. But I love the fact that you're able to measure a person's health without having to go through all these invasive tests. So there's the good outweighs the bad, and I think there's always room for improvement with everything. So Steve or Andy, would you talk about how you would overcome something like that if you're discussing that with somebody?
Sure. Yeah. So Aaron and I have been talking, and I know we're getting to the end of this call, but we've been talking about, what organic is and how organic is a growing technique and not necessarily a way of testing if a product is pure or not. It's more, for food, and then some supplement companies have kind of taken on, the organic label, to market their products that their ingredients have been grown organically. But a lot of the organic products are still contaminated because they're not tested to be toxin free. And so what PharmaNex does with their 6S quality control is they actually go beyond organic, where they actually test not just for 50 contaminants, but electively over 500 contaminants to make sure none of those and none of the residues or anything are in any of their products, and they're actually more pure than an organic product. And so Erin and I have spoken a few times with that, and that's kind of what, got her to be open again as far as learning, because some of these belief systems that we have, and including myself, we learn from, different articles and things that we read in different groups. And sometimes it's coming from different companies' philosophies and product development. And, sometimes it's difficult to understand how much of it is marketing and how much of it is science, and the lines kind of get blurred a little bit. And so I had to re-educate myself a little bit, because I had those same exact questions, and I've had brought people that are like-minded to me that have come out to the labs and asked those same questions too. And what I found is once we ask those questions and we kind of dive deeper into it, I find that people, they understand, and they are completely convinced in the quality of the products. Now, they may not use all of the skincare products, because the skincare line isn't all organic and natural and things like that, because it's the beauty industry, and they use safe ingredients, but they're not necessarily all natural ingredients. And so there's some differences in philosophy with things. And so Erin is mostly focused on the nutritional line. And so that's what we're going to focus on, because that's where her passion is, which is mine. And she's coming out to Utah, so she's going to tour the lab. She's going to get a deeper understanding of things. And so we didn't dive super deep into it, because she had already booked her flight to Utah, and I know that she's committed to coming out there. And then if we need to, we'll sit down with some of the scientists, and she'll be able to ask those questions directly to some of the PhDs. And I'm convinced and confident that once she goes through that experience, that we'll hear some more confidence coming from her about some of the questions that she has. Fair enough, Erin? Is that pretty accurate? You're on mute, I think. Okay, I think she's.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm looking forward to learning more.
Yeah, so she's going to get the full experience in Utah, and sometimes people they absolutely need to go through that to be a believer. And for me, I believed in it enough to want to go out there and enough to get started, just like Erin. But I had some reservations in that tour, and just because of just my background and how immersed I've been in natural health, that tour and learning the science at a deeper level than most people need to hear it about was super impressive. So Erin will go through that experience, and then we'll hear back from her. So, all right, guys, any other questions we have before we finish up? If not, all right, guys, congratulations again. Welcome everybody to the team. We're looking forward to Marco becoming the first Blue Diamond in Peru. So, but imagine in just 12 hours from his first really exposure of seeing a business overview, he's already got his campaign together, you know, and leaders that open up markets, they take things very, very seriously. They have a plan, they follow that plan, they multiply that plan, and they take action, and they take action aggressively. So, Marco, I know you're probably working on some goals on how many people you want to have at those kickoff meetings in Peru, but I would aim very, very high for those. So the more people you have at those meetings, that's going to give a good foundation of your market share. And it's the same thing for you guys. Whenever you look at a local area, you know, the more people you have in that area, the more market share you're going to get. And whether it's a country, whether it's a local area, whether it's a new product launch, you know, it's all about, you know, positioning. So let's see, I don't know if we have a question here or not, but yep. All right, guys. Well, have a great evening, and we'll get this posted on our Facebook group. If you guys are interested in Peru, we did create a Facebook group specifically for Peru. It was in our newsletter. Go check out our newsletter as well as our Facebook page, and you can join the group for Peru. We're going to keep that information separate because we know that not everybody is interested in growing in Peru. But if you are, you can get plugged into some of those resources. And you guys have a great evening. Take care. Bye-bye.
Hey, guys.